Hello everyone, today is the day when we finally finish the 3-part series of the Life is Strange Unused content. If you haven't watched part 1 or part 2, I will recommend you to visit my channel, and it's also important to clarify that this series so far is only about the first Life is Strange game, therefore this is the last part. But it is very possible I keep this series going with Before the Storm, Life is Strange 2, True Colors, and all that. Anyways, on today's video we'll talk about unused music, leaked plot points, leaked build, trivia, and final references, so let's get into it. As we all know, before we make a choice, there's music playing in the background while you decide. The original final version is this one. While the unused choice music is somewhat similar, but it has this oddly bombastic and video gamey keyboard going on. I think we can all agree the original final version of the game is way better. It simply fits better with the game. Meanwhile, the unused version just doesn't really sound like it should. It doesn't feel right, so I'm glad they made the right choice. Also, in the leaked build of Out of Time, the music on the jukebox can be changed to As the Crow Flies, an Appalachian folk track by Tom Jutz and Peter Cronin. There's a video comparing both the final version and the beta version of the jukebox scene with music, so you can go ahead and watch that and compare the tracks. A user called Casey Believer leaked plot points after the release of Chrysalis. The user made the job easier for me, dividing it by episodes, but this just shows how much was leaked before the latter episodes came out. So this was literally the biggest leaks, spoilers-wise, of the game. First, going on with episode 2, the main leaks by Casey Believer were that Kate possibly dies based on your decisions. Helping her through the episodes and supporting her to seek justice gives her more of a purpose to life as well as her sisters, otherwise she will die. You were given the possibility to blame Mr. Jefferson, Nathan, or David for Kate's current state. Chloe finds out about Max's ability, though this was pretty much a given, and Chloe owes money to a violent drug dealer. You could make him your enemy, or you could cover it out, at the expense of Chloe's disapproval. Imagine leaking that information. That's basically spoiling the whole game. But I didn't even hear about it when I played the game when it came out, when I was younger, so it didn't really affect me. Now in episode 3, the main leaks by Casey Believer were that you possibly may live with Chloe. If you really wanted to, you're given the option to kiss her. You possibly get suspended for your actions, that's why number 1 occurs. And there's a swimming pool scene with Chloe. In episode 4, we have that you befriend Victoria surprisingly. You could talk to her about Nathan or the dark room. You attend a swimming pool party, which is basically the Vortex Club party. You also you visit the boys' dorms, maybe to find evidence against Nathan. Creepy drug dealer guy fights you at the beach. You search Mr. Jefferson's car, which didn't really happen in the game. And you're either fighting with or against Mr. Jefferson. Not sure, probably the latter. You're given the option to kill him or call the cops. And in episode 5, the main leaks were number 1, that the bathroom where you saved Chloe is in this episode. Was Chloe the reason for the storm, and do you have to sacrifice her for the town? You may end the game during the storm when being in Chloe's mom's diner, on the road, or in Chloe's truck. You may also end the game in the hospital, or in San Francisco. You even get to view the art gallery. I'm not sure why these leaks are classified as unused content in the fandom wiki. Maybe because of the few couple of wrong spoilers, like searching Jefferson's car or the hospital ending, which we've talked about in part 2 and part 1. But anyways, massive leaks anyways. On February 6th of 2015, an incomplete build of episode 2 Out of Time leaked. The leaked build was allegedly posted on 4chan's Vboard. It was incorrectly suspected that 4chan users had uploaded not just an early build of the second episode online, but also parts of the other 3 episodes as well. The leak for episode 2 was confirmed to be genuine on the Steam community forums, and fans were urged not to download the incomplete build and instead wait for the official release date, which was scheduled in March 2015 by Scott Blouse, Square Enix's community manager at the time. The exact response from Scott Blouse about the leaked build was that we've seen the leak of latter episodes of Life is Strange and it deeply saddens us that something we've invested so much time and passion into is available unfinished and not as we intended you to experience it. Please support us by ignoring the temptation to download work in progress code. We promise you there are still plenty of things we're improving and polishing, and episode 2 will be ready for release in mid-March. Many Russian Let's Players eventually uploaded the leaked build on YouTube. The early build of Out of Time contained some graphical bugs and dialogue issues based on the leaked screenshots uploads, which further confirmed that this was an incomplete release. There were also elements in the leaked build that were different or no longer present at all in the complete version of the episode. Some bugs were unlinked text, showing an incomplete format of Max's messages on her phone, and also a graphical glitch on Dana's room where we see some black surface obstructing the view. I don't know what's with Dana's room and the bugs, but we've seen it in here with this glitch, and also in the remastered collection when Dana's room transformed into heaven or something. There's also a full 4-hour playthrough by the user of IGLRM where we can see the rooms glitch better. If you're interested in visiting the entire playthrough to see the differences, I'll have the link of the video down in my description. This early version of the episode wasn't only unfinished, but it also had scenes or lines of dialogue that were scraped from the final version of the game. A user named Rastafall shared the 3 videos comparing the beta with the last version of the game. In here we see from lines that are not said on the final version.
A popular meme these days.
To scenes that didn't really appear in the final game. According to this user, there's a conversation Max has with Daniel if she didn't let him sketch her before.
What's up, Daniel?
Waiting to draw Dana after Hayden gets his paparazzi on. Don't worry, Max. I won't ask you again to pose for me.
Are you pissed I didn't let you sketch me yesterday? I'm just shy. I get so embarrassed.
Trust me, I understand.
I'd love to get a second chance at art history with you.
This scene is supposed to not be in the final version. I'm not totally sure as I didn't double check, but I trust the user who shared this on YouTube. And again, all his 3 videos comparing the beta with the full release will be linked in my description of this video. Fans have created alternative plots partially based on unused content. 2 hospital alternate endings plus original endings by Sarah is Strange. In here, Sarah links a Reddit post about the big Reddit theory about Pazuzu versus Tobanga. His reasoning behind his theory were while they were playing the game, there's a pamphlet in Chloe's house in episode 3, and it seems like the generic end of the world stuff, but specifically it calls out a name, Pazuzu. I will make a whole separate video talking about Pazuzu versus Topanga because it's a pretty long and it diverges from the purpose of this video. But anyways, back to the alternate endings by Sarah is Strange. The user basically wrote this back in 2015 where she reimagines from abandoned data, specifically episode 4, Jefferson's car, episode 5, the hospital ending, and some audio files about Nathan knowing about the storm. The main idea here is that Nathan is the only character who knows how to stop the storm. If he dies, or you are not on his side, or he doesn't help you, you end up with the original 2 endings, which is of course sacrificing Chloe or sacrificing Arcadia Bay. So everything you're gonna hear next is just a reimagined ending. Episode 4. After you find the dark room, Nathan will come back to take his jacket and meet Chloe and Max. Chloe confronts Nathan, and it is for us to choose whether or not to kill Nathan or side with him. Nathan then convinces that it is his father that stirs up the storm and he was formed to be part of it. If Nathan is killed in the scene, then Max will end up in the darkroom, just like the original plot. If you side with Nathan, Max and Chloe still go to the junkyard to dig up Rachel's body. Then Max goes to warn Victoria in the Vortex Club party about Jefferson instead of Nathan, and Chloe wants to go to kill him. You search Jefferson's car for more proof, but he suddenly appears. So this explains why there's a deleted choice in episode 4 where you can choose between kill him or call the police, and the scene called Jefferson's car, which we explored in the part 1 of this series. Since the car is near school, Jefferson cannot shoot you. If Chloe points the gun to him, Jefferson quickly grabs the gun and kicks Chloe to the floor and kills her. Then Max screams and Jefferson drugs her. If Max decides to call the police, he will just immediately drug both of you down. The episode ends when Nathan comes in, if Nathan is alive, and drags one of the bodies out of the screen. Nathan is forced to do the dark room dirty job, just like how he wanted to save Kate or Rachel. So after this episode, people will discuss if Nathan is evil or not, and discuss about the Storm and Jefferson and the Prescotts in general. Episode 5. Based on your previous choices made to Nathan and Victoria, Nathan will or will not save you from the darkroom. The original plot from Darkroom to San Francisco can be reused up to Max is in the darkroom again and Jefferson burnt her diary. The difference in this plot is that Chloe can be in the darkroom and Nathan can save you. Victoria can also be in the darkroom depending on what you said to her. If Nathan saves you and also saves Chloe if she's alive, then after David comes in, Nathan and David fights with Jefferson. If Nathan does not want to save you, David comes in alone instead to save you and Chloe if she's alive. But there are too much people to save that most likely David dies. If Nathan dies, then the solution goes to the original 2 endings again. But in the end, Jefferson of course has his karma, being brought down by either Nathan or David. If everyone is alive, then Chloe and stepdad have a good conversation after stepdad saved her. If David is shot, then Chloe cries and have her last conversation with the stepdad. Then you get into Jefferson's car with or without Chloe. Depends on what you chose. You still go to the main street and save everyone and then the diner. In Jefferson's car, you listen to messages from either Nathan or David, depending on who is dead. If your Chloe is dead, you need to find Warren again, just like the original episode 5. If your Chloe is not dead, she can go to the diner with you to meet her mom. Warren will not be there, so Max doesn't really know if she causes the storm or not. If Nathan is dead in the darkroom fights with Jefferson, there is no way to stop the storm. If Nathan is alive and he's on your side, you text him and then you, Chloe and Nathan arrive at the beach and you ask him how he sees the storm and how to stop it. But this ending is not so easy to get. You have to be good to Victoria and Nathan, plus you need to convince him according to what you see from searching through his room. If you can't convince him, you will end up at the lighthouse with the 2 original endings left. You cannot rewind after you convincing Nathan, as Max has headache veins into the nightmare sequence. When you wake up, only Max and Chloe are at the lighthouse. Nathan then leaves. Chloe tells Max that Nathan said if Max tries to stop the storm, Max might die. Chloe and Max confess their love with each other with a kiss. Then 3 choices pops up. Sacrifice the bay, sacrifice Chloe, or try to stop the tornado. If you choose to try to stop the tornado, Max and Chloe join their hands together face to face. They close their eyes and Max starts to focus and use her power. Circle of power runs around Max and Chloe. Then memories starts to flash around Max's head. Max may or may not die based on how she treats different people on the last 4 episodes. Then Max faints after she finished this and ends up in the hospital. You get another 2 different endings that Max wakes up or does not. When Max opens her eyes, it depends on who you love. You see either Warren or Chloe, and some other people like Joyce or whoever's alive. If you are pro Chloe, you wake up with Chloe holding your hand and giving you a soft glaze and warm smile, then a hug. Max lays in Chloe's arms. There is a long moment of silence, then she listens to the radio about how the tornado suddenly stopped, but there are still some injuries and deaths. Max smiles, tired. Chloe smiles. The end. This last section of the video is mostly just has references used in the complete page of the fandom wiki. We have obviously a link to the cutting room floor, which is a site dedicated to unearthing and researching unused and cut content from video games, so if you're interested in knowing more about unused Life is Strange content, you can visit this site. The link mostly shares early locations and name-changed locations. It's a huge document that definitely deserves his own video and analysis. We also find 4 Edward Kaplan early sketches, which he shared on his Twitter. In here we find a snow scene, which we talked about on part 2, and also 3 more sketches. The first one shows Max and Chloe in front of a tornado. The second one shows Victoria and Max probably having an argument. I doubt it's about anything else, I don't know. And finally, we find the sketch of Max and Chloe laying side by side on the train tracks. And that's the end of it all. As you can tell, you can see how there's so much left to explore about this video game, not only unused content. For example, we have different fan theories like Pazuzu versus Topanga, we have game theories in general. The characters' backgrounds are also really important, and the early versions of the game are really interesting to check out. There's plenty of things to explore, and because I love this game so much, I will definitely be making more content about this game, and hopefully with better research and better quality. After all, I started this channel about 7 months ago, and I have a lot to learn about the medium. So if you're interested not only in Life is Strange content, but also vlogs, movie reviews, or music reviews, and even other video game critiques, you're welcome to subscribe to my channel, but just take into account that this channel is mainly Life is Strange focused more than anything else. So, if you like this video, you can leave a comment about things I missed or things I got wrong, and we can just have a conversation. And don't forget to leave a like. And I hope we can keep in touch. Goodbye.
Ready for the mosh pit, Shaka Bra.